Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're getting into something absolutely mind-blowing. We're doing a complete deep dive into a profound mystical concept from the Zohar. And we're not just looking at poetry here. Actually, scratch that. We're looking at the literal, mechanical blueprint of universal coding. We are talking about the cosmic override, the end of the exile, and the actual awakening of the Messiah. It is going to be an incredible journey, so let's just jump right in.
So the core text we're focusing on today from Parashat Vayehi begins with this seemingly simple phrase, Vayehi Acharei. In English, that literally means, and it came to pass after this. Sounds pretty standard, right? But to really grasp what the Zohar is telling us here, you have to imagine this as a vivid, cinematic 4K vision. Picture these dark, heavy, agonizing landscapes of historical exile. And slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, those shadows begin to dissolve. As they break apart, luminous celestial advocates rise above the fray, waking up in the heavenly courts to actively plead for Israel. And way off in the distance, a brilliant, unmistakable Messianic light begins to dawn and spread its rays across all worlds. That exact moment is what the Zohar is describing here.
To understand how this all actually works, think of this agenda as our system boot menu. We've got 6 main stages to cover: the Cosmic Override Protocol, the Sephirotic Mechanics of Redemption, Codes 3 and 7, how red collapses into white, the hidden ending sequence, and finally, awakening the Messianic dawn. Get ready, because we are about to plunge exhaustively into the inner workings of the Pardes.
Section 1. The Cosmic Override Protocol, a delayed system trigger.
Okay, we really need to set the stage here. You have to frame this ancient mystical text as an incredibly advanced framework for reality itself. It's essentially revealing the source code of the universe's ultimate redemption. And this brilliantly illustrates what the Yesod, or the deep secret of this text, truly is. Think of that phrase, Vayehi Acharei, using a tech analogy. It's literally a delayed system trigger. The end of exile isn't just some random event. It's a fully automated cosmic trigger that is just sitting there, waiting for very specific conditions. It only activates after all the historical processes and system errors have run their full course. Once that happens, boom, this final override protocol kicks in, initiating a full system restoration and upgrade.
Section 2. Sephirotic Mechanics of Redemption, rebuilding the engine.
Now, the absolutely crucial point here is how this protocol actually runs through the system. You see, the Tree of Life isn't static. During this redemption phase, it operates like a massive dynamic engine. Let's exhaustively map exactly how this final override protocol flows downward. First, it triggers in Binah, up in the realm of understanding. This awakens a massive, unstoppable flood of rakamim, which is pure mercy. That energy then drops down into Tiferet, harmonizing the harsh judgment, the din, with the loving kindness of Hesed. From there, it funnels directly into Yesod, the foundation, funneling all this raw redemption. And finally, it hits Malchut, which is what actually manifests this perfected Messianic reality right here into our physical world. If we look at this through the lens of cosmic engineering, we are literally witnessing a system-wide reset. A complete data purge is initiated across the board, sweeping away all the trauma and debris of the exile. Every single accumulated historical error completely resolved. A perfectly flawless state is downloaded. And the ultimate goal of all of this? The lower earthly world aligns exactly, 1-to-1, perfectly matching the upper world.
Section 3. Codes 3 and 7, the data variables.
So embedded deep within the Zohar's text, we find these hidden mathematical variables that are absolutely required for this override to trigger. The first variable is the code of 3. In the Zohar's mechanics, this number represents the 3 distinct upper Sephirotic phases. Basically, these upper dimensions of light have to perfectly lock into place before the completion protocol can even think about initiating. And the second variable, it's 7. This one represents the earthly cycles. According to the text, there are exactly 7 lower degrees or historical cycles of the physical world that must be entirely fulfilled and endured. The system has to run through all 7 before this massive cosmic transition can trigger. When you combine these data variables, the logic is just stunning. You've got the 3 upper phases representing the divine blueprint, right? And you've got the 7 lower cycles representing system fulfillment. When you smash the 3 and the 7 together, the entire cosmic system reaches a perfected, complete state of 10. The holy name is entirely restored, and the entire system is perfectly unified. It's a real game changer.
Section 4. Red collapses into white. The color psychology.
Now, it isn't just math and mechanics. We're also dealing with striking color frequencies. The shift from exile to freedom is described in these sources through intense psychological color shifts, specifically how red collapses into white. Leaning heavily into the classic mystical teachings of Pardesh Ramonium about Sephirotic colors, the contrast is massive. Red represents the final deen, that harsh, grinding judgment of the exile. But here's the secret. This red data structure reaches its absolute breaking point and it just completely collapses. And the second it collapses, it is immediately overtaken by this expanding white light. That white is Rahayim, pure mercy, and it floods the entire system, leading directly to Geulah, the final redemption.
And this perfectly illustrates the auditory side of the code, too. The Zohar corrections connects these exact colors to the blasts of the shofar. Think about it. That long, unbroken blast, the tekiah, that's the white face of mercy. But the broken, stuttering blasts, the shivarim, those represent the red face of judgment. You can vividly see how the red judgment literally shatters and breaks apart, allowing that pure white messianic light to push completely through and end the exile for good.
Section 5. The hidden ending sequence, unlocking the final level.
Let's shift paradigms for a second. To really wrap our heads around what the Zohar says about the Davidic lineage and the presence of the Shekhinah, I want you to think of the redemption like a hidden ending sequence in a modern video game. You know the ones, a hidden reality that is unlocked only when the player successfully navigate all the prior grueling stages. There are no cheat codes, you can't skip ahead. Surviving that final 7th stage automatically triggers a hidden sequence that fundamentally changes the entire outcome of the game.
So stages 1 through 6 represent humanity grinding our way through the incredibly difficult, painful levels of historical exile. But stage 7? That stage is represented by King David. When the system finally reaches David, that 7th stage, it awakens Bat Shiva, representing the Shekinah, the divine presence. This heavenly advocacy triggers the ultimate victory, the hidden ending, where the lower world perfectly mirrors the perfection of the upper world.
Section 6. Awakening the Messianic Dawn, the final manifestation.
Imagine that cinematic dawn breaking across all dimensions right now as this cosmic override sequence completes its final boot-up phase. The Sephirotic light distribution becomes perfectly, flawlessly equalized. You've got 25% awakening in Binah, 25% harmonizing in Tiferet, 25% channeling down in Yesod, and 25% manifesting in Malchut. This perfectly equalized distribution is what completely stabilizes the universe. It locks it into a permanent, unbreakable state of mercy.
The endgame here is absolute. Once that secret Acharei trigger activates, the remaining system errors instantly drop to 0%. The data harmonization fully completes, and the manifestation of the Messianic reality hits 100%. The manifestation is totally absolute, and there is no going back.
So we have just explored the massive cosmic mechanics of the universe together. We've seen exactly how the upper dimensions systematically align with the lower realms to create this unbreakable state of mercy. But here is the real question. How does this final cosmic override protocol upgrade your own spiritual dimensions today? How do you clear the errors in your own personal system to let that pure white light of mercy flood in? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.